Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, February 23rd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, before I get to the watch list, I first want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering here in a couple of days. So if you're liking what you see as I go through the video and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can be used, how it should be used to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can click on, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click on to get signed up. So like I said, if you're liking what you see, certainly get signed up for the free class. A couple of quick clarification points here. First off, you're not crazy. This number over here is going to be changing throughout the course of the video because the market's still open for a little bit of time. But I like to do these videos when the market's still open because sometimes we can capture some really entertaining late day action. But also the market's close enough to being done for the day where everything I talk about will still be relevant as we head into Wednesday. And then next, I will be using the 30-minute time frame. So if we're a beginner to charts, all that means is that each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So first one here, ticker symbol AMD, and I wanted to follow up on this one because I talked about it last week because the price did ultimately break up through that trend line here that I talked about. So the question mark going into today was, all right, yeah, nice trend line break. Is it the start of something bigger? And so far, so good, seeming like it was a true breakout. This part here got a little shaky, but to be fair, by the time the price ultimately leveled out, and you compare it to the last time the price leveled out, obviously this set of lows right here is higher than the previous one. So yeah, the price is now starting to show signs of progress moving forward. And from a bullish standpoint, that's what it's all about. You just want to see signs of progress, which, like I said, has been established here. As far as next potential areas of resistance are concerned, next overarching level, going to be all about that pink line up there, which on my chart denotes the very well-known, the very famous 200 period moving average, which is currently valued right up there around the 120, 50-ish area, give or take a little bit. So keep an eye on that. But overall, the trend line has been broken. The price is showing signs of progress, and that's definitely a good start to the week. Next one, OCGN, and I like this one. It's a nice little price range for, I know a lot of people enjoy, the below $10 stocks. And the best part, though, is that the pattern here is very straightforward. So I want to make very clear, I'm not here to try to all of a sudden try to impress you or try to imply that I have a great skill or this is some sort of great discovery. The exact opposite. I assure you a lot of people that use charts are watching the exact same thing. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same things, wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy. Call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movements. And what we have going on here is this pattern right there. So we have that trend line right there. We have the support portion of it down here around $4.10. Let me move that up a bit. And also let me change that to green to represent more so the bullish dynamic of things. And maybe make this all easier to see. Let's just make it the same color. So again, we have a resistance here. We have our support here. We have the momentum move right there. And then to make it extra visual, let's put in a little golf hole down here. So what we have here is a bull pennant pattern. Again, a lot of people are going to be watching the pattern. So sure, that doesn't guarantee anything, but it does make it a very, very interesting situation when so many people are going to be watching the exact same pattern. So if you like to play bull pennant patterns, if you like to play this price range, then this one definitely needs to be on your watch list for Wednesday. Next one, AMC, another rough day here. Not necessarily because it was a red day, but because the price broke down through a couple of key support levels. The first one was this area right here at 1765, that green line, which prompts your first update, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. And then probably even more so, the bigger technical event that happened today is the price is now once again back down below that 200 period moving average right there, that pink line, which is just not a good thing, right? I mean, now, does that mean that the price is going to completely collapse? No, there's no guarantees. But just generally speaking, from a technical point of view, you want to see the price, assuming you're bullish, stay above that 200 period, which it failed to do today, which also goes back to the general rule that I just talked about when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if AMC does try to bounce back upwards, then generally speaking, this area right here around, let's just call it $17.50, will be that main area of resistance. As far as levels of support are concerned, next key level to watch moving forward. Oops, let's change that. Next key level moving forward is going to be right here, give or take around the $16 mark, which actually got relatively close here, right there. So to give some credit where credit's due, good to see that the price did bounce from that level. But yeah, $16 certainly going to be a very important level from the support side of things. Next one, INDO, and I probably put this in the wrong spot on the watch list. I should have just put it right after the OCGN because it's the same exact principle. Nice price range down below $10 and a very well-known pattern. So I just get the pattern drawn up here, and the same exact general idea is hold in terms of self-fulfilling prophecies. And again, nothing guaranteed, but it's certainly a more than, valid thought to have that, this could present some nice movement based on a bunch of people just watching and observing the same thing. So we'll get that green line there. And then once again, we'll just keep it all the same color. So we have the resistance here. We have the support here. We have the momentum move right there. Let's put our golf hole down there. And once again, we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern on a sub $10 stock. So if you like this price range, if you like these sorts of bullish patterns, then like OCGN, get this one on your watch list. Next one, PLTR, and let me zoom in here a little bit and extend this line down because there's a couple different interesting dynamics here. So if I extend this line down here, you can see that the price has seemingly gotten through the trend line. Now, to be fair, it got through it a couple times here. That's why I'm not saying this is any sort of guarantee by any stretch. But to be fair, the price has gone sideways enough to, go sideways and even get through that level. Where previously the price, when it went sideways, it just got rejected. It wasn't able to move through the trend line, but it has right there. Now, once more, does that mean that this is the bottom and that everything's going to turn around? No, of course not. No guarantees. But does it become more valid to start to think, okay, maybe there's going to be some sort of bounce that's coming? Yes, that is a very valid thought process to have. So the trend line has been broken, so I'll get rid of that now as it served its purpose. But the next thing, and again, the power of charts, as that rule states, which I've said earlier, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. And this area that I talked about previously in past videos, check it out. Price broke down through it, and now you can see it's acting as resistance. So if there is going to be any sort of worthwhile turnaround, then right there at about $10.60 is certainly going to be a key area of resistance, which, like I said, I think that it's very valid to think that there could be some sort of turnaround and bounce. Now, when I say bounce, I don't mean full-blown reversal where this thing goes up to $15 by the end of the week, but some sort of tradable bounce. Yeah, that seems like it could very well happen. And then a very important level of support. And there's nothing fancy behind this other than the fact of, where did the bleeding finally stop today? That was essentially at $10.30. So keep an eye on that from the support standpoint. Next one here, IMPP, and down. Yeah, I guess I'm not very mature. When you say that ticker symbol out loud, for me at least, it brings out the immaturity. But anyways, sub-dollar stock, so we have a penny stock here. Now I can't even think straight because I'm so immature. But let's just map out a couple of key levels. And really the main dynamic here goes back to the idea of self-fulfilling prophecies right up there at 85 cents. This thing sticks out like a sore thumb now. You have rejection point number 1 and then rejection point number 2. So while I'm not saying that level can never be broken, what I am saying is you got to think that there's a lot of people watching that area and saying, okay, well, I'm a breakout player. So if that thing does break, because it's breaking and because I'm a breakout trader, I'm going to buy. So it goes back to that whole self-fulfilling prophecy attribute up there at 85 cents. So in my mind, that is the main dynamic to watch moving forward. All about 85 cents, and let's see if the price can maintain itself and then get a push up through that level. Next one, SOFI, and this one has gotten pretty crazy. And let me first just draw on this trend line here that I think a lot of people have drawn and will be watching, because this is a pretty steep trend line, yet the price is still not even anywhere close to it. In fact, as I speak right now, last 30 minutes, again, trying to break down to even new lows there from earlier on in the day. So the downwards pressure continues. However, it does bring about, from a trading standpoint, a very interesting situation because, all right, at some point, this is a pretty well-known stock, pretty followed, and you got to think that people are watching and waiting for just really any sort of excuse to either buy more to bring their average down or to try to trade it. So you got to think, because it is a logical spot of, okay, well, what happens if the price finally levels off and pushes through that level? That would be a sign of strength. Now, I don't mean sign of strength in the sense of that's going to send it all the way back up here, but it could be a sign enough strength for people to, like I said, either average down their losses, enter in and try to trade it. But again, that's my long way of saying that is certainly going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy area. But I would also say that really, you're pretty much trying to catch a falling knife as long as the price stays below that level. So, I'm not saying you can't put together a winning trade. And I'm also not saying that just because you wait for the trend line to break and then you buy in the break doesn't mean that's going to be a winning trade either. But at least there's no guess in that situation because you have, okay, it's breaking the trend line. But right now, to just buy right now or buy anytime, you're essentially just flat out guessing and trying to catch this big falling knife, which has very clearly been slaughtering quite a few people here. So in my mind, the main dynamic to watch is all about that downtrending trend line and seeing if the price can actually get back above it. Next one, DWAC, and a very, this is, I would assume a meme stock, a cult stock. I don't know what you want to call it, but one of these that has made some huge swings, and it's getting volume once again, and it's formed a nice little pattern here. So yeah, things got pretty crazy during that opening 30 minutes, big pullback, but then spent essentially the rest of the day just consolidating out, going sideways. And this has all happened at a higher level. So you draw that base there, you look at that base, and you look at that base, and there is still an uptrending component to things. So it's really just a question of, okay, is this trend going to continue, and where is a leading indicator that it may continue? And in my mind, that's where this area right here at the $94 mark is quite an interesting level. So if 94 can be broken, once again, and I'll keep repeating myself, does that guarantee that the price is going up to $100? It's not. But does it make a little bit more sense? Would that be a signal that, maybe this consolidation period right here is finally over? Yeah, absolutely. But as always, risk management matters, because you have an example of that right there where it broke up through and then was a fake break and dropped back down. But if this can give it another go and head back up there, then in my mind, $94 is a very fascinating level. Next one here, NVDA, and a rough one here, but getting interesting because it's leveling out here, and I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of these lines as they've served their purpose for now. But the level here that, again, not by any means some sort of great discovery, but I think a lot of people are going to be watching right down there at $230. I mean, you've had now two very straightforward bounces right off that level. So while that doesn't guarantee anything, it does mean a lot of people are going to be watching it, both longs and shorts. Shorts going to be watching that saying, if the price comes down here and breaks down below it, that break could create quite a bit of downwards pressure, and that could be a good trade, which is a completely not guaranteed but valid thought process to have. You're also going to be having long saying, well, it's bounced off there twice before, so maybe if it comes down there, it's going to bounce again. Once again, not a guaranteed thought process, but a valid, a logical thought process to have. But somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong, and that's why risk management matters. But the underlying dynamic here is everybody is going to be watching that 230 mark if it comes back into play. So keep an eye on that. And then as far as areas of resistance are concerned, main area of resistance seems to be right up there around that 239 mark, so keep a close eye on that. But the most interesting dynamic for me, at least, is going to be that 230 mark. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and a very rough move on this one, and updates definitely need to be made. And again, not necessarily rough because it was such a red day, but just because it continues to break down through levels of support. And the main support here that was originally broken down through is this area here at 840, which goes back to that rule, which you now know when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So 840 will be that initial level of resistance if this continues to bounce back upwards. But this latter part of the day, signaling a little bit of weakness here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing roll back and retest these lows right here, which brings about another very big question, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person in the world wondering, okay, if the price gets down here to this $800 mark, which is the big old round number, right? And you can see right there why the price bounced off that general area 3 times before. There's going to be a ton of people, so like NVDA, same exact principle, which is why I put these back to back. So you're going to have longs and shorts, everybody in between watching, and you get the idea. Somebody's going to be right because the price could bounce, or somebody's going to be right because the price could continue on down. The question just becomes, all right, who's ultimately going to be right? The idea is that both thought processes are valid. Not guaranteed, but valid thought processes. So that's why, in my mind, 800 is going to be a very, very watch level there. But if this thing can't continue back up, then 840 is going to be a very, very watch level of resistance. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to get sign up for the free class, learn more about the tool, how it can be used, how it should be used, then definitely go right there. I don't think I had the right slide at the beginning, but it'll be later this week, February 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely get signed up for it. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you want me to make more of these videos, please let me know with some basic feedback. Hit the like button. Leave a simple comment below. Say hi. Let me know what you traded today. Let me know what you're watching tomorrow. But those two things, hitting the like button, leaving a basic comment, communicate to me that you enjoy the top 10 watch list. And as long as I know people are enjoying, I'll continue to put them together. So again, if you want to learn more about the tool of charts, how it can and should be used to build consistency as a trader, certainly get signed up for the free class. Everybody take care. Have a good one.